Okay, so with Tears of the Kingdom coming out recently, and like everyone in the mother playing it and talking about it, and yes, I actually did manage to snag a copy of the collector's edition. Why, you ask? Because I do actually want to play it, and I'm actually going to try to get back into doing um, Breath of the Wild, of course, before I play that, because I feel like that's kind of important to play that game first. But I'm going to do a video talking about where I think the Zelda franchise is going to go from here. And if I think the Zelda franchise can go back to its roots, kind of. So if you like this kind of video, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, all the good stuff. You guys know the drill. Anyway, let's get on with this video and with my beautiful shaven face. Okay, so admittedly, I saw a video by RGT85 again that was talking about like where he thinks the Zelda franchise is going to go after Tears of the Kingdom is like out for more than a year and basically it's reached its plateau of sales already. So I wanted to do my own take on it because I, I don't know because like it's a really weird thing to think about. I mean, there's a couple things you have to think about when it comes to Zelda games. One, you could do classic top down, like 2D Zelda, like Link's Awakening was on the Switch, or you could go the HD remaster. Well, I don't want to say remaster with Skyward Sword because they really didn't remaster it. They just HD textured the the game. They didn't really do much to that game for it to be HD. A better example of that would be Metroid Prime Remastered. That game, they actually did freaking put in the work. Retro Studio did. But with Zelda, it's 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 a weird time for Zelda because I think Breath of the Wild kind of set a really high bar and high standard for people of like this generation that basically Breath of the Wild was their first Zelda game. And that's what they want now, more so than a game like Skyward Sword or Link's Awakening or Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, whatever. Games like that. Your traditional style games. Now, for me, I never really grasped the whole open world, do whatever you want aspect of Breath of the Wild. Like, that to me is very off putting for someone like me that likes structure in their video games. I know it sounds weird, but that's one of the other reasons why I didn't ever really try to sit down and play the game because I don't know where to go. Like, I know you can go wherever, but like, I don't know where you're not supposed to go without having a certain amount of stamina or certain kind of clothing or whatever. But that being said, I'm not saying that game's not for me. I'm just saying that was kind of off putting me. For a while, I put it down. And then I started to pick it up again until the shrines kind of put a damper on that. But like I said, I'm going to go back to it because I'm getting Tears of the Kingdom tomorrow. So that's going to motivate me to want to play it again. But for me, the traditional style of Zelda, like your Ocarina of Time, your Majora's Mask, your Twilight Princess, your whatever, to me, that is the fundamental building blocks of a Zelda game. That's where it started. It all started back in the 80s with The Legend of Zelda, with the top down view on the NES. And to me, that's always going to be like where Zelda started. But For a lot of people now, it's going to be Breath of the Wild is going to be that standard. For me, like the new standard for me was Ocarina of Time. When I saw that, I was like, okay, this is how games need to be now. Like that's how the games need to be now. And Majora's Mask was basically an extension of Ocarina. Twilight Princess was the last game released on the GameCube, I believe. I know it was the very last Zelda game. And then we had, I almost said Skyward Sword. We had Wind Waker, which was a very divisive game because of the art style, but I think the sailing kind of wore people down as well because of how slow it was and all that stuff. But it was still a pretty decent game. That's one game I never played through. I played through a part of Twilight Princess, but never really sat down and played through it, ever. And I had it on Wii U, but I just didn't really want to sit down and do it. I kind of miss having it. I'm sure if I wanted to borrow it, I could borrow it from who I basically gave it to because I barely did anything with it. So if I want to play it, I could easily play it again. But same thing with Wind Waker HD as well. So if I want to play those, I can easily just text my friend and be like, "Hey, can I borrow Wind Waker and I must have Skyward Sword, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess?" They'd be like, "Whatever, sure." Um, I think I gave them Wind Waker. I'm pretty sure I did. Um, Plus, I kind of regret it now because they're both really expensive. But I don't care about selling them. I wouldn't have sold them anyway, even if I would have decided to keep them. But they're really expensive to like have back in my collection if I didn't want to ask for them back. But just just to borrow them and play them would be fine. But after that, I'd be like, whatever. Because let's face it, who the hell is playing the Wii U anymore? That's why we need to have those ported over to the damn Switch, damn it. So we don't have to play the damn Wii U anymore. Come on, you did freaking Hyrule Warriors. I mean, for God's sake, that's why I bought this Hyrule Warriors Legends guide that's over here that you guys really can't see. But I literally bought a sealed Hyrule Warriors Legend guide so I could play through the definitive edition without having to look up things. And actually, the e-guide part of it actually still works, which is really funny. But I'm getting off on a tangent here. But anyway, but that's beside the point. But what I'm saying is, for me, that's where I want Zelda to go. I want Zelda to go back to that traditional dungeon crawler, dungeon aspect of the game. Because if you think about it, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask still had that exploration aspect to it, but it wasn't as like just drop you in a sandbox and let you just do whatever the hell you wanted. No, they dropped you in Kokiri Forest or Termina or whatever game, and they're like, go here. You have to find the sword. Go find the sword. Once you find the sword, they kind of give you breadcrumbs of where you're supposed to go, and that's fine. Like I enjoyed that. Now, like Legend of Zelda 1 for NES, that really didn't tell you anything. That was kind of like, I know it's a weird, but it's kind of an apt comparison. That was like the Breath of the Wild of Zelda games back in the 80s, because back then we didn't really have like any game like that. That just said, here's a sword. Go explore this whole area of Hyrule, and you literally had to find your way. And you still have to do that with Breath of the Wild. You still have to find the shrines. You still have to eventually find Korok seeds, the Master Sword, and all this other stuff. And the Hylian Shield eventually. I think you can get that in the game. But it was the same way for us back in the day. And I feel like that's basically what Breath of the Wild tried to do, and it did. It accomplished that in a really successful way because it's probably one of the best Zelda games of all time. Even though I haven't played it, just looking at the game and seeing like what all you can do in that game is crazy to me. And Tears of the Kingdom looks the exact same way. Hell, that's why I bought it. Well, okay, I bought the collector's edition because I'm a sucker for art books and steel books. But I still am amazed by how well that game looks and just the way the story is gonna be. It's probably gonna be really, really cool, and I can't wait to get into it. So I see Zelda going back to kind of its 3D era roots with Ocarina of Time. Now, whether they do like a remake of Ocarina of Time or they remaster it in HD or they do a combo pack of a remaster with um Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Maybe they could do that. Um, Maybe they could do Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD double pack. Maybe they just go in a completely different direction and do a Oracle of Ages and Seasons style remake like they did with um, Link's Awakening. Maybe they do that, but don't do the toy Link aspect. People didn't like that, but I personally did. But I wouldn't go that route because a lot of people hated that. But I thought it was super cute and adorable, and I loved it. And the amiibo was it's freaking amazing. I love how that thing looked. I love that amiibo. But yeah, um, maybe do that for the Oracle games. That was rumored a while ago too. That was actually happening. And to close this off, there's one thing I want to mention, and that's the Switch itself. The sad thing is, I think the Switch and Tears of the Kingdom, like that game pushed the Switch as far as it could go. So there's not really much else they can expand upon with Zelda until they make a new system or improve upon the Switch in some way. Like, just work on a better system, but give us a better Switch. I know it sounds stupid and weird, but Nintendo wonders why people use emulators to emulate Switch. It's because you can get 60 FPS out of games that you can't get 60 FPS on PCs. That's why. Like, I've seen multiple playthroughs of it with 60 FPS because they're playing on emulator because that's like the most ideal way to play it is 60 FPS. But if you're playing on real hardware, you're capped at 30 FPS, even docked. Handheld mode, I don't even want to know. Like, hopefully it's tries to stay locked at 30, but with the way it dips down with Ultra Hand and docked mode from what I've seen and heard, I don't know, man. Like, I'm sure it plays as good as it can, but I'm just saying, like, there's not very much else they can do with the Switch. And Nintendo themselves has even said, like, look, the Switch sales are dipping. Well, yeah, Nintendo, because you've sold like 100 plus million Switches. So, like, yeah, your sales are dipping because everyone that wants one owns one, and the people that don't want one or have no interest in one aren't gonna buy one for a game like Tears of the Kingdom. And I know that's a controversial statement, but a lot of people probably did. But I'm saying like if you're not a fan of Zelda, and never played a Zelda game in your life, you're not gonna be like, huh, this game looks good. Do do I want to drop $2.99 or $359.99 in the case of like the Tears of the Kingdom Switch OLED? Do I want to drop the money on this for one game? Most people won't justify it just for one game, a purchase at this point, because everyone knows what the Switch can do. And I'm not saying Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild were bad games. I'm just saying Tears of the Kingdom has shown the Switch's age definitely. And again, that I played from my experience, Age of Calamity, Hyrule Warriors, that game doesn't even run at 60 FPS. But if it did, especially with everything going on, that game would have sold way better than it did, and it would play a lot better. I've never really looked up like 60 FPS gameplay of the game on Switch emulator. I'm curious what it would even look like and play like with that. And I don't have the right kind of hardware in my PC to do it. I would need a better graphics card to do it, but I would be intrigued to know how well it plays. But that's all I'm saying. Like, I just don't think the Switch has much to offer with The Legend of Zelda anymore. And it's kind of sad because this could be the last Zelda game for a while. Unless they do like an HD pack of Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD, which, come on, Nintendo, that's an easy $60 game right there. Like $30 a piece separately, or just sell them in a digital only $30, physical card $60. Or hell, do physical card $30 each, whatever. Who cares? Just give us those games. Like those are the last two Zelda games we really want on the Switch. Other than that, I don't know where the Zelda franchise is going to go from here. But let me know what you guys think. And leave your comments below. And subscribe, click the bell button, all that good stuff. You guys know the drill. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you all for supporting the channel. You guys know who you are. But special shout outs to my $3 and my $5 people. Where is it? Okay, there it is. Shout outs go to Matt Y99, Reaper 7734, Title Cal, Harry Fernandez, AJ Gatto, Oliver Frederick, Joel Adby, It's Me, Charles, Joe William Swift, Griff17, Charlie McKean, Reverse Security, Joe Hall, Artistic Dialogue, Pre-Lead, Just Drew, Artie Insane, HHG Fan, George McConnell, X Taintus, Elliot Scott, Benjamin Teller, and Mac Lucero. I appreciate your support. Thank you guys so much. And thank you to my membership people for supporting the channel. It really does help out a lot. Thank you guys for the continued support. Sorry I've been so lacking on content lately. I just haven't really felt like doing it. I'll do a video explaining why, but I've just been in a weird slump with YouTube. I'll tell you what I'm talking about in a later video. Anyway, guys, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Peace. And be on the lookout for my unboxing of the collector's edition if you guys want to see that. There's like a million out there, but I'm just going to do one because why not?